What's going on, guys? Flyby Simulations here, and welcome to the first episode of my weekly add-on spotlight series on this channel, where we cover all of the major add-on developments, announcements, and releases from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We're going to be taking a look at everything from airports, sceneries, aircraft development, as well as utility releases for Microsoft Flight Simulator all in one place. Now, do keep in mind that I'll be leaving a link to all of the products being talked about in the description section of the video if they have already been released, as well as official FS Elite or other news articles for products that I've been talking about that are still in development, just so I can credit the right places where I got all of my information from. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification icon to stay up to date on all flight sim content around the flight sim world. Compiling these videos also takes some effort, so if you enjoy this series, make sure to like the video as well and jump into the comments to let me know what features or products you're most excited about. So, without further ado, let's jump in and see what we have this week. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so let's start things off with some airport development that's been happening for Microsoft Flight Simulator over the last week, starting with Phuket International Airport in Thailand, developed by BDO Aviation. Now, this is a really popular airport, and more importantly, a really important sort of tourist destination in Thailand that sees a ton of activity from various different destinations such as England, China, and Australia. It only does have one runway, which is about 10,000 feet or so, but it's also a big hub for airlines such as Bangkok Airways, Thai Airways, as well as AirAsia. So if you're used to flying around with airliners within the sim, you're going to have tons of fun flying in and out of this airport. Now, according to BDO Aviation themselves, no original feature list was provided, but you can clearly see some key features from the screenshots in the background, such as custom objects, terminal buildings, modeled jetways, ground markings, control tower, and everything else you can practically expect from a payware airport. You can purchase BDO Aviation's Phuket International Airport from SimMarket for €16 right now from the description section of the video. Next up, popular UK scenery developer Pyreegue Dev have also outlined a roadmap of existing projects they're working on, as well as some airports that have been suggestions that they've been getting and they will be tackling more in 2022. They're well known for their success of both their Edinburgh and Glasgow airport sceneries for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and going forward, they've also officially announced that the development of both Aberdeen Airport in Scotland as well as Belfast Airport in Northern Ireland will be commencing. As for the suggestions list I was talking about, Inverness Airport in Scotland sits at the top of that list and is probably the only airport we might be seeing getting developed in 2022, as it will be given the required attention it needs only after the completion of the two aforementioned airports, which is Belfast and Aberdeen, of course. So that's what we have from Pyreegue Dev. Next up, we have the release of Ivalo Airport in Finland by Simulations. The airport itself is served by many popular airlines all year, such as Finnair, but it also sees traffic from other carriers like TUI and Transavia during the popular winter season, when the place sees a lot of tourists, as it is a very popular destination for skiing and other winter activities. The airport itself has tons of detail, as you can see in these screenshots, both inside as well as outside the terminal gates, so if you're somebody who likes to park the aircraft and go inside the terminal, there's tons to treat your eyes. Furthermore, the developers also provided additional seasonal textures for both the Christmas and the New Year period, if users select December as the month they're flying, December or January to be honest, as the month they're flying within the simulator. You can pick up Simulations' Ivalo Airport from SimMarket for €15 from the description section of the video. Finally, in the airport and sceneries department of this video, we also have the release of the popular Real Taxiways add-on from Just Flight. After the success of their North American counterpart, now they've released a new add-on called Real Taxiways Europe, which makes amendments and updates to more than 41,500 airport signs across 1,165 airports in Europe, with proper seasonal variation, mind you. Here you can see an exhaustive feature list on screen right now, and in my opinion it's a must-have add-on if you fly in Europe with the default or freeware scenery, especially since the simulator is still in its infancy and a lot of far-off regions don't have proper payware scenery developed yet. Some of the notable features, as you might see, include larger size for the signs, real-world taxi signs so you can follow along with charts and simulate real-world operations, and drastically reduce lighting on active taxiways by up to 90% to aid in realism. You can go ahead and purchase Real Taxiways Europe from Just Flight's official store for $40 right now from the description section of the video. Alright, so moving on to what you guys might be most looking forward to, we have some updates on the Pmdg 737 on their forum by Robert Rondazzo. Now, unfortunately, we only got one preview image for this update, but it's fantastic nevertheless. We can see work done on the face of the MCP with the knobs and the buttons, even down to the odd paint application on the course and altitude knobs. We can also see that the data function on the ND is functional and operational, while also seeing a profile view of the VSD, or the vertical situation display. Now, Robert also pointed out that extensive testing on the EGPWS system has also taken place for the aircraft, which is great news for those of us who enjoy high-fidelity simulations of aircraft within the sim. Now, Robert has also mentioned that the team is currently working on integrating Navigraph charts into their native EFB package. He finally went on to say that a more clear roadmap for Pmdg will soon also be released to highlight the development status of the classic 747, the 777, as well as a teased brand new plane, possibly the 757, that's the rumor mill that's been floating around, from a development video last year, so tons to look forward to from Pmdg as 2022 progresses. So, moving on from Pmdg, we also have Aeroplane Heaven's two new aircraft releases, starting with the Grumman F3F-2. The aircraft served as one of the official fighter planes during the World War II era and has an average cruise speed of around about 150 miles per hour and can cruise for almost 1,000 nautical miles, so quite a long time for that period. Now, Aeroplane Heaven has used original designs and blueprints to create an authentic representation of the aircraft. Both external and internal models are very accurate, as you might be able to see in the screenshots behind, and some custom bespoke animations also make the aircraft a true spectacle in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's an exhaustive feature list, as you guys can see on screen courtesy of FS Elite, but some of the highlights include realistic PBR materials and weathering effects, choice of electric or cartridge start depending on what you want to do and how you want to simulate your flight, custom authored WWise sound engine, which is a delight for your ears, and an animated US military pilot figure just to make those external shots look even better. Now, you can purchase the Grumman F3F-2 from SimMarket for 25.62 euros or from their official store for 28.95 US dollars. Moving on from the Grumman, Aeroplane Heaven have also shown their first previews of their Avro Lancaster aircraft. Now, the Lancaster B Mark I was a British heavy bomber, which entered active service with the RAF in 1942 during the strategic bombing offensive over Europe. It's powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Merlin engines. Now, the previews we can see, which are, it's quite in early stages as we can clearly see, but they're quite close-up textured renders. You can see the defensive weapons here, high-power turrets that can be found in the nose, body, and tail of the aircraft. As we can see, obviously, we know Aeroplane Heaven is a seasoned developer for the simulator, and we can see tons of attention to detail. Now, it looks to be that it's going to take some time for this airplane to come out to the sim, but it looks very promising nonetheless. Alright, moving on, we have some great news for the owners of the Parallel 42's Freedom Fox and Fox 2 aircraft, which now have interactive checklists included. Now, this is great for new pilots learning how to fly, as there's no need for manuals and other external assistive devices, because Microsoft Flight Simulator's proprietary interactive checklist system allows for an amazing learning experience, and more developers using this system allows for more people to actually learn how to fly these complicated aircraft. Now, the blog post shared by the Parallel 42 team on Medium shows that the interactive checklists were very hard to implement. Now, this is why most developers don't actually bother with the system, but since Parallel 42 Freedom wanted a holistic launch on both PC and Xbox, it was a feature they had to implement, and they're happy they did it successfully, and the consumers can now enjoy their product. Other features with the update include a new default camera position, better control stick textures, updates made to the inbuilt mod manager for smoother operation and livery management, and a lot more. You can pick the Parallel 42 Freedom Fox and Fox 2 up for 42 Australian dollars from Orbex Direct today, from the description section of the video. Finally, in the aircraft department for this week, popular aircraft manufacturer SimWorks Studios has highlighted a fantastic roadmap for the sim as well, previewing many new aircraft as well as highlighting what's in the pipeline over the coming few weeks and months. Now, going off the success of their popular Kodiak aircraft, the float plane variant of that aircraft is already in the works and should be ready for release in February of this year. On top of the Kodiak, however, SimWorks have also shared some pre-rendering previews of their Vans aircraft RV-14. As can be seen in the background here, visuals are almost done for the aircraft and code work is expected to be finished quite soon as well. It'll come with 2 G3X displays and the GTN 750 system. The team will then fine-tune and release it in February of this year too. The RV-10 variant of this aircraft will follow the RV-14 close after. However, the RV-7 and the RV-8 aircraft variants will be released later in 2022, or according to the developer, even early 2023. Also confirmed is the inception of the Pilatus PC-12 into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, the current release date prediction of this is sometime in the middle of this year, so it's very exciting that popular aircraft such as the RV-14 and the Pilatus will be entering the Microsoft Flight Simulator marketplace this year itself. Some of the features that have been previewed for the Pilatus itself is a mixed glass/steam cockpit. However, a more modern Pilatus PC-12 NG or next generation will also be released following the original Pilatus. However, extensive code work is required for this, so it won't be coming out till early 2023, according to SimWorks themselves. Of course, SimWorks, just like the previous developers I mentioned, is a seasoned developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we can expect high-fidelity simulation. And another great thing is that both SimWorks as well as Pilatus themselves have signed a licensing agreement to bring both these aircraft to the sim and have them be an authentic representation of the aircraft so that all the consumers as well as AvGeeks can enjoy them. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so when it comes to the utilities/scenery development department of this video, we only have one sort of major add-on that's been previewed, and that is by popular add-on developer FlightBeam, who have shown a preview of their all-new Vdgs system implemented across their entire suite of airports for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I can't necessarily show you any footage of this due to copyright reasons. They did release a video. I'll leave a link down in the description section, but here are some screenshots. As you guys can see in the background, it's some fantastic screenshots of the Vdgs system. Now, for those of you who don't know, Vdgs stands for Visual Docking and Guidance System, and it's present at large international airports to help pilots park exactly in the right spot, depending on the aircraft type, the apron size, and a whole host of other factors. It'll first be implemented at their jaw-dropping Auckland scenery, of which, if you don't know, please check it out down in the description section of the video. It's fantastic, probably one of the best payware sceneries I've seen for any simulator. But as mentioned before, it'll first be released in Auckland and then procedurally be rolled out to all of their other airports developed for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, I also wish they also extrapolate this kind of technology to all of the freeware airports and license it to other payware developers so we can enjoy it across all the airports. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this week's edition of Add-on Spotlight. And now that I do think about it, the title is a bit of a work in progress, so suggest some better names if you guys think of some in the comment section below. As we saw today, there's some great products to look forward to in 2022, and the year is already shaping up to be an amazing year for the flight sim world. Be sure to also like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also hit that little notification bell icon to never miss a video. We do tons of content on the channel like tutorials, news and development updates like this one, cinematics, full flights, product reviews, everything flight sim related. As I said in a previous video, this channel is your one-stop shop for everything aviation and flight sim related. We'll be back for Add-on Showcase or Add-on Spotlight, whatever I decide the name for this series to be, next Thursday. But in the intermediary, I will also be covering the weekly Microsoft Flight Simulator development update this Friday. And I'll be having tons of other content in the middle as well, so tons to look forward to with the channel, with the flight sim world in 2022. Great things to come for us. As usual, guys, thanks for flying by.